And now here again is our guest, Dr. Renita Weems. Renita, that image of the photograph of Elizabeth Eckert on your desk and the hate-filled face of another 15-year-old in the background, jeering racist comments. Tell me something. Did you ever feel like Elizabeth Eckert?
My experiences were a little bit different. About the time that that photograph was taken, I was 3 years old, but the world hadn't changed significantly by the time I entered school in the late 60s or by high school. So the world had not significantly changed by then. And just through the years, I have felt some moments like that.
What kinds of moments?
Where it's much more subtle. Not the angry, ugly, jeering faces and the nasty comments, but just the hesitation, the questions of how did you get here and who sent you here and we don't think you really can make it and those kinds of things. So I know that feeling of trying to live with dignity in the midst of ugliness and pressure.
Yeah. You began your message with a compelling reminder that despite terrible acts of insensitivity, evil deeds, in fact, there is still the possibility of change and forgiveness. What caused you, what inspired you to develop that theme?
Well, I think it's a question that people ask all the time. When you're talking about, it's easy as an African American woman for the attention to be on my lifting up the image of Elizabeth Eckert and Hazel Bryan Massey. But what I was also trying to point to that every day in all our lives we have had occasion to be wrong. And if we all look back over our lives, it may not be the grand national cataclysmic image that Hazel Bryan Massey offers, but we can all think back to some things in our lives that were never captured on camera, but we know we were wrong, and we wounded some people. And I believe that we all ask, how can I make amends? Can I make amends? And I know that people ask that, and I certainly have asked that. And I believe that part of what it means to be a Christian is to know that when we earnestly are sorry, I don't mean just say it, but I mean you earnestly in your heart, your heart breaks.
Have you ever been that sorry for something?
Yes, I've been that sorry for small and large things. I mean, again, it may not be anything that national, but we're talking about your own ability to just be honest, self-scrutinizing, and to be confronted with some things and say, you know, I was wrong.
Here you are, an accomplished clergywoman, Princeton. You were a stockbroker before you went to Princeton, is that right? You're teaching at Vanderbilt.
Yes.
You are the mother of a 9-year-old daughter, Savannah. What has your journey been like?
Oh, well, which part of the journey?
Well, the part you're going to capture in the book that you have written, Listening to God.
Yeah, in my book, Listening for God, I capture largely the part of me that's the minister. And I think I'm always captivated by stories about contradictions. My own contradictions, the story of Jephthah, the stories throughout the Bible of people who wrestled and people who on one level were public giants, but privately they were paralyzed.
You had an itinerant journey, as you say, spiritual
journey.
journey.
Yeah, as a minister, and being honest, and I've found that congregations, audiences, readers appreciate your ability to look back over your own life and to reflect it, not stay stuck in that your own story, but to be able to kind of step back and say, look at the way as humans we and what we have done historically. And so I have the platform of a pulpit and being a minister, and when I'm at Vanderbilt being a professor. But I like to believe that all of us step back and say, you know, perhaps I wasn't completely right.
And your family in Atlanta, Georgia must
Yeah.
be extremely proud of their daughter.
Oh, yes, they are. My father is still living, and yes, he's very proud.
Are you the first clergy in your family?
Oh, yes, and then I'm also a woman, so, you know, yeah. So it was, it is proud after first being shocked.
Terrific to have you here,
Thank
Dr.
you.
Renita Weems.